And in Fort Atkinson, we are told doctors believe COVID played a role in a young boy's death. 13-year-old Danny Rees died on Tuesday. His mother said he was congested and suddenly stopped breathing. He ended up testing positive for COVID. Doctors say the virus played a role, but it was not the sole cause. Danny was in 7th grade at Fort Atkinson Middle School. Staff said they are extremely saddened by this death. They're offering support to students, staff, and the family. The rest of Danny's family has since tested positive for the virus.
That's a topic mentioned during public comment at the Fort Atkinson School Board meeting tonight, which was packed with divided parents. Like many others in the area, the district didn't have a mask requirement, at least going into the meeting. Madeline O'Neill is live in Fort Atkinson with the latest developments and why parents and health officials are worried schools across Jefferson County are not doing enough to keep students safe. Maddie?
Board members just voted to enact this mask requirement going through late October. Now, board members talked about how this was a difficult decision, but during the vote, we heard just one nay. And of course, we've heard about these contentious school board meetings all over, including locally here. And I can tell you tonight was no different. Dozens of people signed up to give public comment, fairly split on whether they support or are against this mask policy. We heard from people strongly opposed to the requirement, calling this a matter of freedom rather than safety. But we also heard emotional pleas from the other side as well, including Jennifer Slack, who just pulled her young daughter out of school in the district, concerned about safety with more and more COVID cases in schools.
Make a motion to amend our current practices to include contact tracing, quarantining of exposed children, and most importantly, a mask requirement. That's really the least we can do for some of the most important people in our lives. Thank you.
I don't think you should be guilted, pressured into making choices for everybody. We all need to take charge and make our own choices, whether to mask our children or not.
COVID cases are on the rise in the entire county, and Sam Rose-Jacquevani with the Jefferson County Health Department attributes that largely to school spread, saying they can hardly keep up with the new cases. He says the lack of masking and quarantining policies at schools is reckless and endangers students, and his messages at school board meetings, he says, have been falling on deaf ears, sometimes being met with boos and jeers.
To see that we are conveying to them the risk and conveying to them the guidance and letting them know of what they can do quite easily to prevent the spread occurring in schools, and then to see them cast their votes as a no, and to see them say we're going to do away with all of this and essentially pretend that COVID-19 isn't real is absolutely devastating.
Now, without mask wearing, a close contact to a COVID case can be considered the entire classroom if they're there long enough, Jacquevani says. While DHS guidance recommends unvaccinated close contacts quarantine, that wasn't the case at the start of today at schools including Johnson Creek and Waterloo. But Waterloo is once again quarantining close contacts and now requiring masks as well, starting next Tuesday until October 21st after a directive from Jefferson County just this afternoon. At tonight's meeting, we heard nearly 2 hours of public comment, and police were there. The school says that's just as a proactive measure during these October and September board meetings. During the public comment, one woman did bring up the 7th grader who died, asking others not to use this recent tragic death in any arguments this evening. We did see one woman thrown out of the meeting for being disruptive.
Maddie O'Neill reporting live tonight. Madeline, thank you.